On this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic, we debate, is it time for Russell Simmons to just sit down and chill out? Same thing with John Conyers. Is it time for him to retire? Plus, we talk about Jay-Z's New York Times article. And should A Tribe Called Quest really be nominated for a Grammy? All that and more on this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic.
First of all, let me tell you something. Lamonte is just full of
Sometimes my mama said, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
People say that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one? Okay. Go ahead.
Rudy Giuliani practices voodoo. So he put a voodoo hex on my girl, Hillary, and that's why she got woozy. And the Secret Service had to prop her up and put her in the van.
But take us to a break, my dude.
It was voodoo, son.
I don't know about that voodoo.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic.
Social media
is
space.
New. People
It's
out
not
here.
new.
Listen, Jay-Z, that quote from Jay-Z about it's not about, being famous or anything like that. That's not success. Most people are looking at success as being famous and popular and getting a lot of money. So for him to say it's not about that, it's about using your God-given ability, living that out, that's what makes you successful. That's success. But the average young black man out here, he's like, nah, skip that. I want to be popular. I want to be famous. Right? I'd rather be old, rich you than new me.
Yeah. Old, rich you than new. Nah, you got that backwards.
That's what Jay-Z said. You'd rather be old, rich me or new you. Would you rather be old, rich me or new you? And kids are out here rather being old, rich Jay-Z than the new them.
I don't think that's the way he was saying it. I don't think the way he was saying it in the song and the quote he had today are in the same or in similar contexts. I think he was saying in the song, being old rich me is where it's at.
No, I think he was saying in the song, would you rather be old, rich me or would you rather be just yourself? A new you. Not looking at me as a success. Right?
I don't think that's the way he was saying it.
Lamonte be the mediator.
Well, see, first, here's the issue. I don't even know what the fuck y'all talking about.
Did you not listen? You just went off on
Wait. Which song?
Michael
come on now.
Rappaport about not liking the Jay-Z album, and now you don't even know what's up. This is Family Feud. It's Family Feud, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll be with the Detroit background. Okay, I got you with the Clark sisters. Okay, I'm sorry with Queen B. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, now I told you, man, I got a lot of stress going on in my house right now. So just give me a minute, bro. Like I'm a little discombobulated. I think what you're saying, Spud, is correct, and I get where Maynard may take it in that manner, but I think what Spud is saying is you should want to be the new you and not want to be the old rich me. That was my interpretation.
Hold on, say that again. Say that.
You want to be the old rich Jay-Z?
No.
Repeat that again, Lamont. Repeat that again, Lamont.
I think what he's saying, or my interpretation of the record, is that it's better to be a new you and not the old rich Jay-Z.
Tell me how you see it, Maynard, because maybe you see it differently.
Well, he starts off the verse by saying Super Bowl goals. My wife's feeding the kids liquid gold. We in a whole different mode. Yeah, we going to reach a Billy first. I told my wife the spiritual shit really worked. And then he says, all this old talk left me confused. You'd rather be old rich me or new you. He's talking about all the success he got.
No. Maynard. What's your name? I'm sorry, Maynard. He said, let me make sure I got this. You would rather be old rich me or new you, which means and everybody, it's about interpretation. I take it as that, no, nigga, you should be the new you and not the old rich me. You should be who you were supposed to be.
So then he says, and old niggas, y'all stop acting brand new. Like Tupac ain't have a nose ring too, blah, blah, blah. Then he gets down to, just not long after that, I'm clear why I'm here. How about you? He says, but my stash can't fit in a Steve Harvey suit. I'm clear what I'm here for. How about you? Ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire. I'm cute. I'm saying he's big up and being filthy fucking rich.
I think
Even
he's
the
kind of.
fact-
I think he's
Even
kind
the
of
fact that he has even
Go
the
ahead.
fact that he has the camel nose, he's like, yo, I'm cute because I'm a billionaire.
Not the
You want to
camel
be like
nose.
this.
Seriously, that's
You
how you
wanna
doing
be like
Jay-Z on his birthday? That's how you doing Jay-Z on his birthday?
Yeah, Spud, you get the W. Maynard, we're gonna have to. I forgot.
Don't be
what
afraid
team.
of Jay. Don't be afraid of Jay.
No. I'm just saying that one line.
You're scared.
I think what you're trying to do is that you're trying to small him down and put him in a regular box.
No, I think
You know
what
what I'm saying?
Maynard is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Maynard, because if you look at the way that Jay-Z put the album, right? He put Sean Carter at the beginning of the album, and then he put Jay-Z at the end of the album. Family Feud is at the end of the album. So I can see Maynard's point in regards to he's saying, look, I'm filthy rich. But I think, and the way I looked at it was, look, you'd rather be filthy rich, the old me, instead of just being yourself, instead of reinventing your own self. That's the way I looked at it. In regards to the quote in the New York Times, when he's saying, look, that's not the goal. The goal here is not to be rich and famous or to be successful and famous or popular. The goal here is to use your God-given ability and lead and live that out. That's what makes you successful. Not the filthy rich Jay-Z, not the balling out of control, you gotta strive for this Jay-Z. But
If anybody getting handsome checks, it should be us. Now, we did that black-owned things, 100% black-owned champagne, and we merrily eating off these streams. Y'all still drinking Pierre Jouet? Ha!
Perrier Jouet.
Did Perrier Jouet, whatever the freak.
No, Maynard. Don't you just gloss over that like that.
Why? I don't care about that.
We don't drink that anyway.
We don't drink that.
Oh, unless you drink that, Lamonte. Is that what you drink?
I mean, I didn't want to say that, but yeah, I did. I
So,
do.
so Jay asking you why you still drink it.
But
He
I
ain't got
also
through- he said, hold on. He says, damn, I ain't got through to you yet.
absolutely. And again, be clear. Jay-Z doesn't wash his own underwear. I do. You know what I mean? So
We can't tell from this podcast, Negro, you don't even use damn microwave.
Right.
This Negro, I said, I'm going to heat this up in the microwave. He said, we don't do that over here.
yeah, we don't do microwaves, but that's not good. That's you're decomposing the food and the nutritional value of what you got in there. You're zapping it, bro. But let me just say this about Jay-Z on the real. I think what you're doing, Maynard, is you're taking definitely that one line that's what it's talking about, it literal, and I don't think that's the way he was trying to give it.
Okay. We disagree. That's
Yeah.
all.
Did you read the New York Times article, Maynard?
Yeah, I read it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't think it's new thinking. I think it's always been there. I think maybe that may be new that you heard it from Jay, but I think that's been, the idea that people want to be the best them has always existed.
I don't
And-
think so. I think that as an adult, I think you get to that level, which I think, to your point, I think Jay-Z's at that level. But I think that the average kid who is a Jay-Z fan growing up with Jay-Z and hip-hop period has looked at success as materialistic items, not as I'm going to use my God-given ability to be able to live out my life, and that's what I call success, regardless of how much money I have. I think most kids look at, if I got $1 million, if I'm on television, if I, whatever, if I got the nice car, if I got this, the hot chick, that makes me successful. Not, I set out to be a doctor, I'm a doctor, and that's, success to me. Or I set out to be a rapper, and now I'm a rapper, that's success. I think the average kid is like, nah, I gotta be on the Jay-Z, Puffy, Future, T.I. level, and that's where success looks, that's what success looks like to me, rather than I'm just using my God-given ability. Because that doesn't, have anything to do with money, in my opinion. And I think that the average person is looking at finances when it comes to success. That's the way I looked at it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for your response and dialogue in that. I thought I was going to, engage in a healthy dialogue with you on that one, but
I mean, you have your opinion, and I get it. I'm fine with that.
But this is the debate, man. This is how you debate. Is that what you said? That's how you debate.
That's how you debate.
Anyways, let's get the show started. Welcome to another episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. This is year 2, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Got a lot to cover today. Let's start it off with Russell Simmons, man. Lamonte, are you still gonna watch Def Comedy Jam? That Russell Simmons, now had to take his name off of Def Comedy Jam. It's not longer.
It's so funny you say that because you just blindsided me with that one, but that's okay. Is the latest episode? I think it's called now Def Comedy Jam or All Def Comedy Jam. I was moving around over the weekend. I think the newest episode came on Saturday night. I woke up bright and early on Sunday, clicked on my little mobile device, got on my HBO to go, and I saw the episode, which what I did know is Chris Rock and what's the brother's name? Tony Rock. They have a younger brother named Jordan Rock, which I had no idea. And that young brother is funny. They had a couple other comedians that I had seen before that were very funny. So HBO was like, listen, we didn't already put the bag down, so we got to just take Russell's name off and let's go tell some of these jokes. And it was definitely an enjoyable experience for those 24 minutes. I mean, but what do you say, man?
But do you watch? I mean, we grew up with Russell Simmons, so even though Russell Simmons' name is off of it, you still support Def Comedy Jam.
Yes, because I also think that this millennial generation, or I should say, just say this younger generation, because younger could still be someone who's outside of the millennial box. The Def Jam name and logo, it doesn't mean the same as it may have meant 25 years ago. Even Uncle Russ, he doesn't mean the same to a certain community. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't know that Jeezy is on Def Jam. They just know about Jeezy. So I think the days of those label things, that's kind of a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter. As long as it's good content, tell me some jokes, get me off of the.
So no more God bless and good night?
I mean, we're good, man. The world will keep. We good. Don't worry about that. And the funny part is, what is still on the HBO To Go app is the old Def Jam stuff with Russell still on there. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's been totally erased. If you want to get your VOD game on, you could definitely do that. You just can't get the new stuff with his name on it. So I get it. It's okay. The world gonna keep spinning. Russell still gonna keep money.
Is it time for Russell to sit down? He stepped down from the companies. He's no longer, got his name on the Def Comedy Jam. Is this one of those things where Russell will? Well, I guess a better question is he going to be able to bounce back, or is this time for him to say, let me sit my old self down, go hang out with John Conyers, sip a cup of Mai Tais and chill out?
Hey, my man, hold up. Wait. That was a low blow, bro. That was borderline disrespectful, man. Come on, man. Hey, listen. On behalf of Three Black Guys with the Mic,
that's the reason why
to the Honorable John Conyers, sometimes the 2/3 of the people on this podcast, they don't show the proper respect to the elder statesman. Shout out to John Conyers, bro.
Maynard said it's time for John Conyers to sit down.
Maynard needs to chill and stay down in Virginia and do what they do down there. That is our.
You got all the nerve talking about Bergen County. You can't talk about Maynard. At any rate, Maynard, the floor is yours.
So where both of these men are concerned, it's them who's tarnished their own records and their own legacy. Right. Now, if you go back and you watch that young lady, who's not really necessarily a very young lady, but her name is Marion Brown, talk about what John Conyers did to her. That erases the honorable tag. That erases the honorable tag. And we understand these things. We look at Roy Moore as a pedophile because he is out here chasing 14, 15, 16-year-old girls. But now let's go back, right? Because Russell married a 17-year-old.
He ain't giving you no ounce, Lamont. He ain't giving you no
ounce.
No.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Let him finish. Go ahead, Maynard. Go ahead, finish.
And now, for me, and I think you guys can go back 2 eps and realize that a lot of what Lamonte's saying, I feel, because I have admired Russell. I read his books. I've been a fan of Def Jam. When I was freaking, 19 or 20, I bought a Def Jam jacket, had my name embroidered. I'm all for it. I remember the Varick Street address. It was 160 Varick Street, I think it used to be. Can't remember.
Man, you get a W on that one, Playboy. That's it.
Right. And so, I remember when I had my video show and we had to go to New York, I was like, if we had meetings at Arista and Mercury, I was like, if there's any one place I want to go to, it's got to be Def Jam. Nobody wanted to walk over there from uptown or from Midtown. I had to do that on my own. I didn't know where the hell I was going. So I'm in awe. And 2 shows ago, instead of me giving him a cactus as he may rightfully have deserved, I gave him some dirty tequila. So I'm showing respect. But yo, he did this. So then the next question is bounce. Spud was, does he need to fall back, or is he going to be able to bounce back? Bounce back to what? Is he worth $700-800 million? Is that right?
700.
You talking about? No, I don't think Uncle Russ got that much.
No, he got like about 50.
No. I give him like 300, maybe 400.
No. Net worth
Yeah.
of Russell Simmons? 300 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 300, 500.
350.
Okay. All right, my bad.
Right now it's sitting at 350. My thing is this: what's he going to bounce back to or from? He just because he takes his name off of things, like it ain't like he ain't rich beyond anyone's wildest dreams. It ain't like he still didn't see. It's like the Bill Cosby scenario. You can't watch Bill Cosby on TV no more. They don't run the old Cosby Show episodes, but you can't take away what this person has done. I can't not see the fact that every Thursday in my mind, Bill Cosby introduced me to people like Joe Williams or Tito Puente or Nancy Wilson. That introduced me to another level of Black history, or the artwork that was in the television
or
show
the
on the wall,
or the
artist. Right. So as a result, what he's done to tarnish his legacy, yeah, that hurts Bill Cosby the man. That hurts some of the Bill Cosby the man's earnings. But you can't take away from me the memories of and hearing the songs or the artists or seeing or learning the lessons and how he showed me in so many ways how being a man, a father, a neighbor, a husband, or whatever the case may be, whatever story you take away from Bill Cosby or the Cosby Show, I learned that. You can't take that away from me. And what I learned about hip hop, through hip hop, with hip hop, the love I have for hip hop that Russell helped foster in me, you can't take that away. Now, did Russell foul himself up? If the allegations are true, yeah, that might hurt Russell a little bit financially here, or that might make it so that Russell can't do a new deal there. But you can't take away the fact that this man set into motion a brand of East Coast hip hop that will live forever. You can't take away Public Enemy. You can't take away LL Cool J. You can't take away a DMX. That will, I will play those records for the rest of my life. So what's the bounce back from? What's the bounce back to?
Well, all I'm going to say, man, is that right now, if you sign up for a Rush card, you can enter to win $1,000 for them to pay your rent for the month of December. Now, this is not an endorsement of the Rush card. I'm just telling you right now, if you want to go get you a Rush card, bro.
Being disrespectful. That was disrespectful.
Wait a minute. Not your mortgage, but they will put $1,000 to pay your rent.
Disrespectful.
If you look at the Black people on the website that are just dancing and just happy to log into rushcard.com, Rush is okay.
I'm so confused where Lamont goes sometimes.
I just want you to know that the Rush card game is still heavy out here, bro.
Yeah, but it's owned by Green Dot now. It's not owned by Russell Simmons anymore.
Oh, that's right. He did sell it. But it still has his name on it. It's still called the Rush card. So if it was that bad, that they would do something about that Rush card, but they're not. They're going to let that park and sit it right there. And again, Maynard, I'm glad you eased up a little bit because I thought about some other famous people that have had sexual allegations over the years. And I hate to say this, but even back in the day, and you all help me if I'm getting this one wrong. Remember when Tupac was brought up on sexual assault charges? You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I just feel like in our community, Tupac was not as, same with Mike Tyson, that we didn't kind of put the villain hat on those guys in what we're doing right now in this kind of climate when it comes to sexual assault. Am I right? Or am I off base?
Isn't
that what Mike went to jail for?
Yes.
Tupac as well.
Yeah, and Tupac, they went to jail, Playboy.
I think you're right. But let's also back up and understand this. These were allegations that occurred, and there was a police report filed at that moment. And, there are, to some extent, on sexual harassment or sexual violence, if you will, there's a statute of limitations that exists that, and it's hard now that something happened to this young lady. It was 20 years ago. She never reported it. Going to jail is probably out of the question. We need evidence collection. There was no evidence collection, no rape kit, no witnesses, no corroborating stories, it happened on this day. So in the Mike Tyson scenario, which I always felt like, because I'm a Mike Tyson fan, A, I got to be upfront and honest about that. And B, at the time I had a different idea as to how things should work. I always felt that Desiree probably was not telling the whole truth. And so that's that. But she said it was last night and Mike Tyson did this to me. Or the Tupac thing it was 2 nights ago and this person did this to me. But when somebody says it was 20 years ago, I think it might have been a Thursday or maybe it was a Saturday. That makes it difficult for anybody to pursue a case.
Again, I'm with you. I'm just saying, like, when you go down the famous list, after I thought about it a little bit, Al Gore, I think it was 05, 06, right? He got one of those charges, right? Brad Pitt, Sean Penn, they got some charges back in the day, but we just didn't throw those people in the trash. And again, I'm just wondering why and how. Not to say that sexual assault is ever bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I was having the conversation with people about just, the way we were all taught, I shouldn't say taught, but things that we did when we were little kids, you know what I'm saying? But we talked about this. And I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but chasing the little girls and touching them on the backside, you know what I mean? That puts you in that category.
When you're Matt Lauer and you're touching Katie Couric and you pinching her butt every day, you just can't do that. I mean, it comes a time where the situation shifts when you become an adult. And, I hate that these things are going on with Russell Simmons, John Conyers. Nobody wants to see, great men fall in this way. But again, like Maynard said, they brought it on themselves. Today, John Conyers is set to make a decision on if he's going to move forward, with being a congressperson, if he's going to retire, or if he's going to, live out serve out the rest of his term, so we will see. This would be a great person that is, brought down.
But we need to know. We need to know. I think, and politically speaking, I think John Conyers needs to wait. I think the Democrats need to have John Conyers wait until after the Alabama election, which is a Senate election, not a Congress, not a House rep election. But if Mitch McConnell, who changed his tune here just today, a couple of days ago, Mitch McConnell said, if he gets here, we're going to suspend Roy Moore. Now today, he got a different tune. And what we have to do is say, you want John Conyers out, you cannot seat Roy Moore. If you seat Roy Moore, John Conyers stays.
In addition to that, Maynard, if John Conyers goes, so does Al Franken. You can't miss Al Franken, who the ladies came out, and not only that, John Conyers hasn't admitted to this situation, but Al Franken has. So if John Conyers goes, Al Franken needs to be walking right next to him.
Spud, you can't do that.
Why? Oh, because the white man's ice is colder?
Come on, bro. They've already said, well, Al was a comedian and blah, blah, blah.
I know that
It's
they're trying
different.
to, and Maynard expand on this. I know that the reason why they're trying to hold on to Al Franken is because they want to set him up for 2020. They think that he is a viable candidate for 2020. So I'm sure that they're holding on to him for that. You can expand, smarter,
Wrong
you know
answer.
what I'm saying, than me in this situation. That's what, I'm saying, I heard, that they want to see if he can actually do some damage in 2020. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think there was discussion that Al Franken might be a viable candidate in the future. I don't think that he actually ever really could have been a viable candidate for the presidential. He's missing a couple of things. This is a wrap for him. He might as well just, no. It's a no. Right now, Al Gore, that's a no. You're not going anywhere in the future as far as the president. Now, you may be able to remain as the senior senator from the great state of Minnesota. But my dude, that's it. President, and had this not happened, I don't see Al Gore as a president. I see him as a VP. I see him as maybe ascending to the Secretary of State. But he doesn't have that thing that makes it, he's not exciting. Barack Obama was just amazing. He soared. Donald Trump was at least exciting. I mean, he yelled at everybody. He cursed at people. He was a whole spectacular show of all to himself. Even George W. Bush had some things. He was funny and, sometimes in a laugh at him kind of way, not laugh with him kind of way. Bill Clinton had charisma. Al Franken doesn't have any of that.
So wait. So Maynard, you're telling me that G.W. Bush was exciting?
I said he was funny in a laugh at me kind of way.
But you threw Al Franken in the trash because he's not exciting.
He's not. He has a dry voice. He's not particularly handsome.
When the cameras are on and it's committee time, he's the one that steals the show. What are you talking about?
It's not that he steals the show. It's that he was
Did you already send your endorsement check for Al Franken already? And
listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what they do in Minnesota. I'm down with what they do in Minnesota. First of all, they got one of the best football teams in the NFL right now because I'm still watching. But I mean, they elect what was the other guy? My other man that used to wrestle.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Come on, bro. Like that's what they get. That's how they get down up there. It's excitement city. So I'm just kind of offended that you would not say that Al Franken is not exciting. And here we go with GW being Mr. Excitement. I'm just a little confused here.
Dub had a certain charisma that resonated with a group of people. What part of that charisma? First of all, let's start with some of the things he had.
Well, what group of people? What do you mean? Is it something like you people? I mean, because I'm feeling okay.
Lamont.
Yes.
If you let me finish, sir. So first of all, his last name was Bush, so you can't discount that. He looked like his father. You can't discount that. Then he stood up there and he said the most important thing to win him that primary. When asked who was the most important philosopher to him, who was the most important person, he said the philosopher Jesus Christ. That pretty much set him on a course to win the primary and then later the election. So that's what really endeared him.
So wait. So you saying that Donald made a misstep because he doesn't love Jesus?
No, Donald didn't make a misstep for not loving Jesus. He said, that was George W. Bush's way to success. Everybody has God-given talents that you have to pursue as what success is called. And George W. Bush, his success was pandering to the religious right. Donald Trump's success was pandering to the angry right.
Oh, but no Jesus.
No Jesus. And we're not going down the Jesus rabbit hole today.
You know what he said? Hold on. No, you know what he did say?
I'm just asking about Jesus, bro.
Yeah, he said. You know what he said? He said, I go to church. I drink the juice and I have the cracker. My favorite passage in the book is 2 Corinthians.
2 Corinthians?
That's what he said.
Is it 2? 2 Corinthians, bro?
That's what he said.
He's just dude. You know what?
You gotta love.
I love 2
Corinthians. You gotta love George W. He was the
No, that
greatest
was Trump.
president
That was
in the
Trump
world,
that
but
said
he was
that.
funny.
Trump
I
said,
did that.
Trump said that.
All right, let's go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Grammys and why Tribe Called Quest was not nominated for a Grammy. Q-Tip went off. We'll dive into it when we come back. And this is Three Black Guys with the mic. It is the holiday season. During the holiday season, we shop. Time to pick up gifts. Time to hit the malls. Time to hit the stores. What do we do when we are out hitting the stores? We go and we get something to eat. We bombard the drive-thrus. So here's what you need to do while you're out there shopping during the holiday season. Grab yourself some fresh food. Don't put no frozen food in your body. Don't put no bad vibes in your body for the holiday season. Get some fresh food from Wendy's. And because you got the kids in the back, because you got your auntie, because you got your mama and your grandmama, and everybody is looking to get some gifts during the holiday season, you got to feed everybody. So you want to get yourself some Wendy 4 for 4s because it's cheap. So while you're out shopping, pick yourself up a Wendy's 4 for 4, which includes a junior bacon cheeseburger, chicken nuggets, small fries, and a drink. Or you can get yourself a crispy chicken BLT all for $4. So again, don't be putting no frozen food in your body. Put fresh food because it's always fresh, never frozen at a participating Wendy's. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. Happy holidays from Three Black Guys with the mic. And now, back to the show. Let's get into the Grammys. Q-Tip is mad that he got snubbed for the Grammys. Wasn't nominated. The Tribe album was not nominated. Let me start with you, Maynard. Should they have been nominated for the Grammy? Is
Absolutely.
This album Grammy worthy?
It is. It absolutely is. But I don't want you to start with me. Lamont holds.
No, Maynard. No. You are not going to take over this podcast. Spud said, what do you think? Because I'm curious as well.
Well,
Maynard.
I'll say this. The album was amazing. If you disagree with that, okay, that's your business. But the album was amazing. Who are the other candidates? Who are the other nominees in the category? Let me try to go back and remember.
For which one? Album of the year?
Album of the year.
Album of the year is Kendrick Lamar, Childish Gambino, Jay-Z, Lord, Bruno Mars.
Wasn't there a rap category?
Give me a second.
Here it is. It's Jay, the Migos, Rhapsody, Tyler the Creator, and Kendrick.
Ooh, all good people.
Tyler the Creator is Grammy worthy over Tribe.
If I gotta put the clicks and views, to Lamonte saying the clicks and views, I'm gonna go with yeah.
See, this is why when I was a kid, you had to go to church on Sundays. You had to we used to call it putting on your Sunday's best.
We don't go to church on Sunday no more?
You used to have to put on your Sunday's best.
And Maynard, not to cut you off. Do you know why they called it that?
Why?
Because when we were slaves, we weren't allowed to dress up on Monday. I'm just telling you, bro. What?
So anyhow, let's go. Let me finish this in Lamar real quick.
That's my word.
You going to get on me anyway. So let me. Okay. So we used to have to put on our Sunday's best as kids. As our parents, you got your suit, you got your black shoes and your tie and your, even though when I was a shorty, I had the clip on, you had to wear a tie. Then they said, you know what? We need more. In those days, we need more clicks and views. So come as you are. And then you got to come to church with no tie. Well, then after having no tie, you didn't have to wear a jacket. After not having to wear a jacket, you could wear jeans. And then you know what? The pastor wanted more clicks and views. So what he would say is, y'all like football? No, I'm keeping y'all away from y'all game. Why don't y'all come to church in your jerseys? And church was a special place. And now we've gotten away from what it was. So what am I saying? Hip hop used to be a thing. It was a real culture. this stuff, and you know what? I get it. I'm probably wrong here because it says best rap album. It doesn't say best hip hop album. It's the best rap album. And this rap thing is a different thing from this hip hop thing. All I just want to do is say, please stop saying, young rhymers out here, young folks in the game, that you in this hip hop culture, if really what you are rappers. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have let clicks and views give us. Now, you used to have bars. You used to have bars. You used to have to be nice with it. You used to have beats. Now Cash Me Outside got a little joint. Chanel West Coast is out here, trying to do her thing. All these whack rappers are in this game. And I really just feel like that's because we haven't loved our thing. And Lamont, again, 2 weeks back, you posted on Facebook and said they can cross over into our genre, but we don't get to cross over in their genre. That's because we have decided that anything goes in our genre. As listeners, put it like this, and you agree with this, Lamont, I'm certain. If somebody in another genre, in classic rock, if some untested, unknown entity in rock music said, we're as big as The Who or Rolling Stones or The Police or Led Zeppelin or what are them boys called? The Grateful Dead. The rock world would lose their mind over that. And they were like, how dare you that you're anywhere like the Beatles?
But we let Lamont. But we let people take down the concept and we move the needle on this on a regular basis that LL Cool J ain't among the greatest MCs of all time. We move the needle and let people say that this one or that one or the other, whether it's LL or Big Daddy Kane or even Chuck D, that they not hot. And then we let these young boys out here, whoever they may be, Joey Badass, who actually like his style, say that they are on Tupac's level, or that they are bar for bar better than this person or that person. And we don't lose our shit over it. We don't respect our own. If we don't have respect for your past, your future is ruined. So you finished?
And as a result, as a result, we should look at the fact that Tribe didn't get nominated for having a dope, super dope hip hop album because we let somebody else tell us what our culture is supposed to be like. Now I'm finished.
Okay, so it's so many different directions that we can go in. But Maynard, first I want to say that you not originally being from Detroit, you opened my eyes up to something of me being a native Detroiter that I never ever thought about. You remember the time you told me about you either went to some sort of party store or Coney Island. For those who don't know what that is, it's like a diner or some place, like the bank, to do a basic human service. And remember you said to me, he's like, yo, Lamont, you all have these services through bulletproof glass. You remember you said that to me?
Yeah.
I said it on this podcast 20 times.
Yeah. Because it still hurts and pains me is that even as a child, I was trained to get penny candy through a bulletproof glass, and it's sad. So I think what Maynard is saying is that, we could talk about on a lot of other social economic levels of the way that we are treated in our genre or the way that we live. It spills over into the music. So you're absolutely positively correct. There's no way certain things are going to be allowed in the country genre of music or rock or whatever it is. You're absolutely positively correct.
Okay, but let me just dive in real quick. Hold on, because I want you to define that.
I got a long way to go.
I know you do, but I want you to define it if you can, because I'm not clear on what we're saying in regards to people are bleeding into the hip hop genre. I don't get that when you're comparing that to country or rock or whatever the case may be, because who's bleeding into the hip hop culture that affects this particular category that is saying that Tribe does not?
Well, that's what I was going to get to. I think when Maynard, he hit the generalization, let's talk about Tribe for an example. First of all, you have to understand of the way that the Grammys operate. And here's where Q-Tip and Tribe Called Quest is wrong. and 150% wrong. And where Maynard is partially wrong. Because it has nothing to do with clicks and views. It had nothing to do with how many records you sold. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with the people who are Grammy voting members, i.e. me. Other people who, according to the Grammys and the rules that they set of you to be a member of the Grammy Society, blah, 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 blah. So now, if you take 12 months ago, when, in my opinion, one of the best rap albums of 2017, they were nominated, and it wasn't that much. It wasn't about clicks and views because they didn't get no spins. They didn't get none of that. But if you remember, that De La Soul album got nominated. You remember that? And that album was phenomenal. And it was just as good, in my opinion, as this Tribe Called Quest album. So you say, well, why didn't Tribe get nominated? If you listen to the video, and Q-Tip admitted, because he said, hey, Ninth, a.k.a. Ninth Wonder, a.k.a. the guy who is a part of Rock Nation that had his artist Rhapsody nominated for a Grammy, is that Tribe did not want to do the political portion of it, which is go around to certain Grammy members and say, hey, I would like for you to nominate my album, which I thought was a phenomenal album, up for a Grammy. He didn't do that. He sat his behind at the crib and thought it was going to come to him. That ain't how this works.
But Migos did
Here's the deal. Now, hold up. Now, I'm going to give you another one. So when you are part of a machine like Migos, which is QC, if I'm not mistaken, which is Capitol Motown, like when I worked at MCA, the staff, we were required to vote on our own records, of course. You know, I probably not supposed to say that, but that's what we did because the machine has a publicity department that's how that part works. Tribe Called Quest, I bet you $3.5 million to one, they didn't have anybody out there lobbying for them. That's all it is. I guarantee you, if it would have been put on the list, somebody would be like, you know what? Yeah, check up and keep it moving. But he didn't want to do that. So Maynard, you're right.
That sounds a lot like paying for airplay.
What do you mean paying? I'm
like,
confused.
It's a little bit more like Plugola. Sounds a little bit more like Plugola.
Because a dope record is a dope record. So if you receive a
Maynard,
dope record,
there were 4,000 records that probably came out last year. And all I'm saying is, when you get the ballot in the mail, you get these lists of records. It's based upon if your name gets on the list, if your record is lobbied. And all I'm saying is Homeboy and the squad, they didn't do no work. That's all I'm saying.
Essentially, we're watching the Grammys because a couple of people nominate artists to get awards.
Just like when you listen to the radio station, you allegedly have 5 people that put in a diary that said this is hot. Yes. Yes.
That's not allegedly, by the way.
Allegedly. the cume or the people meter of these people that we never see. Yes. Yes. It's the same thing. That's the real deal. That's how the Grammys operate. So I'm just saying the other award shows or those awards and how they operate it's a little different than the way that the Grammys do it because it's based upon the membership. It's no different than the Oscars or the Emmys or those other kind of things. You know, it's the people that are in that organization that vote. And yes, you got to lobby those people and say, yo, I want my record to be nominated. Or hell, just hire somebody to go do it. To lobby the people to vote.
I.e. Lamont Hayes, ladies and gentlemen, bwpmarketing.com.
So all I'm saying is I get what the homie said, but what you're not going to tell me is that there was some drastic difference in the Grammy system for when they nominated the De La Soul album, which again was amazing, which to me was a legacy artist, just like Tribe Called Quest. So we can't bitch, moan, and complain when 12 months later, Tribe Called Quest doesn't get it. When, again, before De La Soul, which is a little engine that didn't have any backing, that had to go do a big Kickstarter campaign to even put out a record. You know what I'm saying? That they got nominated.
So you're saying it's not. You're saying it's really not about the music. It's really about people lobbying. So I mean,
that's the music is part of it. But if you're going to sit there and say, I'm going to make this magnificent record and it's going to be in my basement and I'm not going to give it to anybody or let anybody hear it and expose the art of it.
But that's not what happened, Lamont. They did Saturday Night Live, for instance, right? Come on, man. It's not like they were. It's not like the album sat in the basement and nobody heard it. It got airplay. It got exposed on television. They did 3 or 4. They did Jimmy Kimmel. They did Saturday Night Live. Not Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon. Saturday Night Live. They may have did Kimmel. I don't know. So it's out there. If the music is dope, the music is dope. And we got to stop this foolishness saying, well, we got to have somebody scratch his so-and-so's back and touch so-and-so and whisper to so-and-so and pass an envelope to that person.
No.
But this is the thing, though, Lamont. You're right. That's the way the system works. That's the way the system works. But when you say that this is how the system works, what you're saying is we don't even need to have, let's just marginalize the idea that we had a culture called hip hop. And now let's just say all this is about is clicks and views. And if that means that Tyler, the Creator, can go around and, he's known for pranks and all this other kind of stuff and basically show his ass on TV and go on ridiculousness and jump motorcycles and all this, whatever. And that's what makes him a star, because his music is not my particular taste. I'm curious as to how big he's selling or who really loves him. But
okay, can I defend Tyler, the Creator? Mm-hmm. During Thanksgiving, I had to go. It wasn't an option. It was a requirement to go to his store on Fairfax in LA. The line down the block. Down the block.
What's the dopest track from this album?
I don't know, but my daughter would be able to tell you right off the cuff. I like Tyler, the Creator, but I'm not a fan of his. But he does have a movement out here. I mean, that boy does the carnival every single year in LA, and that thing sells out. I mean, this year he brought Roy Ayers, Khalees. I mean, last year he brought Kanye West. I mean, so I can't. My thing would be more on the Rhapsody tip than it would be on the Tyler, the Creator tip. I still don't know.
Hey, my man, whoa, Spud, stop. Don't you do that.
What?
Don't
Tyler,
you do
the
that.
Creator is 10 times bigger of an artist than Rhapsody. Sorry.
Yeah, but that girl's album.
Movement. No.
Stop. That girl's album is amazing.
It's amazing. It's not Tribe amazing. Not Grammy amazing. I'm almost on the.
Nah, I disagree.
I would have put Cardi B in there before I would have put Rhapsody in that joint.
Boy, you better stop. Boy, you really better stop.
Cardi B's not a bigger artist than Rhapsody?
This is not about being a bigger artist. The Grammys are, and this is where Maynard, might want to cut me a little bit.
But separate what Maynard is saying and for what we view it as.
That's what I'm saying.
What we view it as is the biggest artists are in this category to get the album for the best music that they put out. Not the politically correct way.
No. Listen, here's what you said. And this is where I agree with you. Is that I don't, and Tyler, the Creator, is not my cup of tea either, but I do understand his lane of rap, probably is just amazing in that particular lane. Yes, Cardi B's lane, even though she doesn't fully have an album yet, is totally different than Tyler. Rhapsody, and I've said this before, maybe not on this podcast, if she is not this generation's version of a female, Nas, I don't know what is. I'm not going to put her there yet, but she's breathing in that lane of a female perspective. So for her to get this nomination of a rap album, it is appropriate. She went through the steps. Her sensei, AK, who's an instructor at Duke University, you know what I'm saying? A very astute human being. Maynard, that was supposed to have been like a big up to, to the whole, instructor thing at universities. But he told her, this is how it works in the Grammys. This is what you do. And she did it. She got the nomination. She's on the road right now. If you saw, no disrespect. But Q-Tip was at the kitchen with the lady in the background cooking oatmeal. Rhapsody out on the road. She's doing her 3,000 to 4,000 seaters every night. You know what I'm saying? So she's growing.
Sound like
and
you're
again,
hating on Tip to me.
I'm just telling you, I just think, again, with all due respect, because you got to respect those that come before, you got to respect legacy, but he was out of pocket. He is, in my opinion, living in the days of what it was when it was to be on Jive Records. You ain't on Jive no more, Playboy, because Jive would have did the work in the past, and he would have had the nomination. You also the clip that Steve Stout said where only 10% of the artists understand the record business.
Yeah, but Tip should have probably known better than that, regardless if he's on Jive or not. He should have known that this is the process and
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But what we're saying here, and I get it that this is institutional, but what we're saying is there's a music business that's separate from the music. Mm-hmm. And I get that. That's okay, but it's wrong. It's wrong. And
how's it wrong? Why you can't let Tyler the Creator live? I don't get it either. But you can't diss him for that weirdo rap stuff that he does.
And you know what? You're right in one respect. And that's why I up front said in my initial argument, there's this rap thing and there's this hip hop thing. And this hip hop thing is important. It's a culture. It's a whole thing. It may be dying now because this rap thing has taken over. And I'm not into the rap thing. I'm good. I can stay over here in my lane and I'll just keep playing EPMD Unfinished Business like it just came out yesterday and I'll be okay. Thank you, but no thanks, Tyler the Creator. No thanks, Migos. No thanks. But last week you was down, and now you're not about
down with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account.
Listen, I can like a Garth Brooks tune without saying that I'm sold out on country.
This week you don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shooters ready to gun them down.
All I'm saying is we got to recognize that if we don't care about our genres of music, if, a little bit ago, and Lamont, this is what you said. This is Lamont's words. He was disappointed, and tell me if I'm wrong, that somebody had made mention that it was either Ed Sheeran or Sam Smith was the biggest name in R&B in a space and time maybe a year or so ago. Do you remember this, Lamont?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
And why can't they just cross over into our genres? And you can look up and see how we and the artists who are African American have cheapened the genre. The artists in the 60s and the 70s, the 80s used to make phenomenal music, great lyrics. Now we got slow jams. First of all, everybody's auto-tuning, which is just horrible. And we got R&B songs, or what's supposed to be R&B songs, where, even the R&B songs got curse words to half the song. And you know what? That just doesn't get it. Or there's nothing left to the imagination. They talk about having sex like it's no longer any mystery to it. And so when you cheapen the music by using gimmicky lyrics, you leave the door open for Ed Sheeran to come in with a great record, or Sam Smith to come in with a great record where they really have vocals, where they're really writing music instead of just everything is programmed.
But again, I think you're right, because anytime you allow a Cardi B to kind of be kind of put into the system, so to speak, you're saying that it's okay. I get you, brother. I get it. And again, it's not a hate on Cardi B per se, but there's just
yes it is.
I was trying to throw the jab. You act like you didn't. I didn't throw it.
I know. Yeah, I saw you throw a jab. I did. I put my Floyd Mayweather on.
But you know what, man? I think you're right. I think it's on a whole bunch of different levels, not just in the music, but we could take it in another thing about how over the past 6 or 7 years that it has been acceptable in our community for an Olivia Pope to be looked at as a hero. And at the end of the day, Olivia Pope has been a side chick. You know what I mean? She was the winch. She was the hoe. She was that's what they called in the slave days, the winch that came in the middle of the night, right? Right. So it was like, it's on a lot of different levels, bro. It's from like I told somebody this the other day, I don't know what year McDonald's was formed, but I'm pretty sure that the way that McDonald's is today and where it was when it was, began It wasn't the same. Like the meat that they probably use is probably not ground beef as it was in day one. So I think on a lot of different levels, even from, and I'm so glad we haven't talked about them yet, but I know it's coming.
You never read the book Grind It Out?
No.
Oh, you should
now, was
read
that? That was the McDonald's story?
Yeah.
Or the Ray? Oh, no. Oh,
well.
well.
Roy Kroc, I think.
Ray Kroc.
Ray Kroc, thank you.
Yeah.
So
but I'm just saying,
brothers whose last name was McDonald's. He bought the store from them.
He bought it, yeah.
Yeah, for like $3 million, and he gave him $3 million. He went on to make billions.
Yeah. I did see the movie, and I didn't know if it was accurate in the book. But I'm just saying, like,
but think about this for a second, Lamont. Let me add it. So in 2014, who won Best Rap Album, Best Rap Song, and Best Rap Performance?
You said in 2014?
Mm-hmm. Let me help you. Macklemore.
That was the year Steve Stout put out the ad in the New York Times. Or was it New York Times or New York, one of the two? He put an ad out talking about the Grammys.
So the question is, if I can just lobby these people and win, do you have the Macklemore album, Lamont?
No, I don't.
Did you at least download the single?
I did.
No, I didn't.
But they get to be in our genre and then describe, and somebody said he was the most important person in rap music at that time. Like, what in the world? We acting like Uncle Russ didn't exist. We acting like Steve Stout or Nas or Andre Harrell or Puff or Jay just didn't exist.
But man, let me ask you this though.
Because you can lobby these people for a vote, and that's all that's required. That is on some bull. Go ahead,
I
Spud,
agree with
sorry.
you. I know. Don't apologize. You're right. You're 100% right. But the argument still has to be for those who are not in our genre of hip hop to say that. Is it one of those things where New York hip-hop, and we looked at it from when the South came, West Coast came, and then we were looking at it like, this is not hip-hop, this is not music, but it's still expanded. So should we also look at it from a perspective of the music and the genre has to grow? So doesn't it have to grow to a Tyler Creator or a Rhapsody or a Cardi B
it's nothing wrong with it growing. I don't have a problem with it growing. What I have a problem with is that it's okay to grow. You know what we've done? We've numbered the presidents. And we think that Donald Trump is whack, right? At least the three of us on here. He's 45. But you can't have 45 without having respect for 32 or 16 or 44 or whoever. You see what I'm saying? You got to that's why we got statues of George Washington, and that's why we got monuments to Thomas Jefferson. That's why every president gets a library. We have to say, yo, this is important. But what keeps happening now that 45 is in office, he's told us that George W. Bush and Barack Obama were dumb. So when the new rappers are coming out and they stay saying, when Lil Uzi Vert or Joey Badass or any of these other guys don't have respect, Waka Flocka don't have respect for the old school, they are devaluing the genre. And when they devalue the genre, that makes room for Macklemore. That makes room for Post Malone to come in and be the most important people in the genre for that space and time. And then that makes Tribe Called Quest album not even worth discussing as a Grammy. That makes it so I'm gonna tell you where you're right, and it hurt my heart when I saw this morning. Post Malone and G-Eazy were at the top of the hip hop Billboard chart today. So you're right. In addition to that, then we got these other people out here doing the same thing. 50 out here. Does 50 have did he have an album this year?
No.
But he sits around and shoots at Jay saying, "Oh, that's some country club music or whatever, or golf course music." Yo, 50, man, come out with an album or shut up. You know what I mean?
50 is a troll.
But see, what happens is when we play this stupid game, people get, because the youngins, they don't know what's up. They get confused as to what this thing is all about. I ain't heard a record with a DJ solo in probably 15, 20 years.
Man, we don't do that anymore, brother.
That's what hip hop is about, though.
I know, but we don't have a rotary phone in our homes anymore either, brother. Come on, and you my man. I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm comfortable in my masculinity to say I love you, bro. But we don't have an AOL account anymore, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have Facebook. Not
I do,
Facebook.
but wait.
We don't have MySpace, do we?
Let me give Run DMC
Spud
some
has an
props.
AOL account.
Run DMC still does allow for Jam Master Jason to do a DJ solo. So I just want to put that out there. I feel you, Maynard.
The trick is when you discredit if you got $5 in your pocket, right? You got a $1 bill, a $5 bill, a $20 bill, a $50 and a $100 bill, right? The $100 bill is the oldest, and you look at that $100 bill and be like, that $100 bill is whack. It ain't worth $100 no more. But neither is the 50. Then the 50 can't be worth $50. The 20 can't. If the dollar can't be worth $1, then nothing else can be worth anything. It's all built on the foundation. And so if hip hop is the foundation and people keep saying it ain't worth it no more, and I'm better than it, then everything falls. It all crumbles. You can't build on sand. I'm done.
Well, no, I'm gonna say it again, Maynard.
Okay,
but no, wait, no. So you can't leave it right there.
Right.
What Maynard is saying is right, and I think we're in this is either the 60th. I think it's the 60th year of the Grammys, and this is why you have a lot of these other award shows because people have felt the way that you feel, Maynard.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So Music Award.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that, bro. Let's try to, because there was a Source Awards, right? You remember that? You know what I'm saying? There was still a BET. I mean, so there were other attempts of other hip hop things to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like again, and that last thing when Uncle Luke was up there when I swear I didn't know this, he had said that he had never, ever been given an award by anyone. I said that's not possible. But he was right. And I went back and did the research. He's right. So I think you're right. The Grammys isn't the end all be all. But at the same time, if you want to play in the Grammy game, you can't be upset when you don't follow the rules. Now, if you follow the rules and did everything you were supposed to do, but he admitted, I say again, in that tweet, Facebook, whatever, wherever I saw it, he said, yo, I did not listen to what you told me to do. That negates the argument right there. Ain't nothing else to talk about there.
Well, I can tell you what.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maynard. Last words.
All I know is when we lie, we ain't got nobody to blame but ourselves. Tyrese knows that best.
Which leads us to the cactus of the week, ladies and gentlemen. This is where somebody says something extremely stupid and they have to choke on their words. Maynard, is Tyrese getting the cactus this week? Who is getting the cactus of the week?
I want to give Tyrese the cactus this week, but I'm not. Let me tell you why I want to give it to him. Because all that foolishness he took us through, all the crying, all that stuff, and then for him to later come out just a couple of days ago on his Twitter account, his Instagram account, and say it was all false. I lied. No, I didn't get the $5 million from the Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. No, my wife isn't pregnant. All of this was because I was on some drug called Reluxty or whatever. As Spud said, it was some depressant. It was called Rexulti, excuse me. Some craziness. Spud said he was on the mind-altering drugs, and it was some depressant medications, blah, blah, blah. But he really deserves some cactus, but I'm not going to give it to him. That's a little jab. I learned that how to not give it to somebody, but still bash them from Donald Trump. So that's another thing. I want to give it to Donald Trump, but I ain't going to give Donald Trump a cactus for saying that he doesn't think that's his voice on the tape that says, I grab him by the JJ or whatever we should be saying. I don't know what's approved by the program director anymore. But Donald Trump, that's your voice. What is wrong with you, dude? Acting like that's not you. I want to give it to Young Thug for posting that he has an IV drip getting the drug, what's it called? Promethazine? Whatever it is. The one they basically mix the cough syrup with the candy and the Sprite or whatever.
Lean
or something
is
like
what
that.
it is at the end of the day. Lean.
Lean. They call it lean. Now he's got an IV drip and he has that posted up on his Instagram. Like, that's cool. I want to give it to him. But I think Pete Rock already snuffed that out, saying that they didn't do it with these designer drugs and all this kind of foolishness. So who do I really want to give it to? In light of the conversation we just had, I want to give it to Puff, Brother Love, Sean Diddy, Daddy Combs. I know you're surprised at why I want to give Puff.
I'm very surprised.
Because what he said is not actually the most egregious thing to be said. But for him to say that hip hop is in its most powerful state and the Tribe Called Quest album can get a Grammy nod. Not the win. We're just talking about a nomination. For him to say it's in its most powerful state. And let's be honest. Everybody is doing an auto-tune or mumbling or whatever. For him to say it's in its most powerful state. And I can't really pick somebody that I heard come out this year that I'm guaranteed to know is going to have a platinum record 2 years from now. This is on some bull. For him to say it's in his most powerful state, and he's the guy that gave us Dylon, and Dylon, 5 of the greatest rappers of all time. Puff, I need you to return. And this cactus is not for Puff to choke on. I just need him to be reminded that the hits of the 90s that Bad Boy brought us, that the Mace Cam beef that just went up and went down, that's what hip hop needs. I don't know about rap music. I don't know about that. That's a whole other thing. But hip hop needs more Mace right now. Hip hop needs, I'm not a huge fan. Hip hop needs more Cam, more Jim Jones. Hip hop needs a return to somebody like a Big. Hip hop needs more boom bap for hip hop. Now rap, they can keep doing that auto-tune crap. They can keep doing the mumbling or whatever. And Puff, I need you, sir, one of the more powerful people in the game, one of the more well-known faces and names in the industry, somebody who's a true mover and shaker, to really return hip hop to its most powerful state and bring us the music. We need the records, homie. Bad Boy.
Okay, and for that, Diddy gets a little cactus this week, a little agave.
Yeah, but he probably won't mess with it. He's gonna probably stick to the Ciroc.
Or the De Leon. He got a De Leon.
Right. He's gonna probably jump on some French vanilla.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in to another episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. You know what we'll do. We'll be back again next Tuesday with another episode. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Make sure you log on to our webpage at 3blackguyswiththemic.com. Get in on the conversation on our website, on our Facebook page at facebook.com/3blackguyswiththemic. Again, that's facebook.com/3blackguyswith, WITH, with a mic. And we will talk to you then. Until then, we'll talk to you again on Tuesday for another episode of Three Black Guys with a Mic.